Okay, lake check 1-2. Yeah, I'm seeing us. Level looks good to us. Yeah, I think we're in good shape. Awesome. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're just a few minutes away from starting here in ring number 2, the Martin Deer Line ring number 2. We are excited to showcase the Maine Anjou show this morning, starting at 9 o'clock. And our officials are just a couple seconds away from getting us our first class. If you're following along in your show program or looking for a show program, they are in the show office. You can follow along as we start out with our Maine Influence show before we get into our purebred division. So in just a few moments time, folks, we'll get started here in ring number 2, Martin Deer Line ring here at Farmfair International. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here in ring number 2, we are excited to kick off Farmfair International 2023 with our Maine Anjou show. Class number 1 is our Maine Influence Heifer Calf class. We shall have If you're following along in your show program, you can scratch entry 816. Please scratch 816. So to our judge, Colton Hamilton, we welcome him today, representing the infamous Belvin Angus herd from Belvin. We'll talk a little bit more about Colton in the coming classes, but to start this off, there are 4 entries in our Maine Influence Heifer Calf class. Class number 2 in the Maine Influence should be in the marshalling area. There'll be a single entry in our next class. Please be waiting in the marshalling area.
Sometimes it's all the truth I can stand. I just follow the way the wind blows my plan.
Belvin Angus is a family-owned and operated ranch. Gavin and Mabel have been involved in the Angus breed for over 40 years. Their son, Colton, has a degree in economics and has been on the farm ever since graduation. Colton and his sister Quinn have also been full-time operators in Belvin Angus, and it's a family affair over at the ranch. Gavin, Mabel, Colton, Quinn, Brendan, and daughter Ivy. If you follow along on their social media, Belvin Angus has a number of annual sales, and you'll want to check that out. The hospitality is second to none, folks. But probably most importantly, on this 8th day of November, we wish our judge, Colton Hamilton, a very happy birthday.
Each spring always return.
Assisting Colton in the ring, we thank Garrett McPherson, and we'd also like to thank our volunteer marshals, Brian Zimmer and Todd Zwecker.
After it all, and I am tied to your tracks, love. I wish that I am your
And maybe the most important announcement is we want to thank our partner of choice and our official photographer. Thank you so much to Show Champions for their dedication and professional service to quality livestock photography. Maureen will be in the ring, as you will see her often throughout Farmfair. So thank you to the outstanding and talented team of the infamous Show Champions. Thank you, Maureen and team. I'm sure that we will see Alan and the rest of the folks here this week.
And we're just moments away from rolling into show ring number 1 here in Hall B in the Martin Deerline show ring for the All Other Breeds show of Farmfair International 2023. Grab your seat, folks. Multiple breeds competing in our AOB show as we kick off day 1 of Farmfair International.
Check, 1, 2.
And now on this first class of Maine Influences, we'll have comments from Judge Colton Hamilton.
Thank you, Tracy. Good morning, and first of all, just like to thank the Maine Anjou breeders for asking me out here to judge for these cattle here today. Definitely a show I've been looking forward to. I think a really nice start to the show here with these 4 heifer calves here in this first split. 2 really exceptional individuals at the top of the class. The heifer we're going to lead off with, I think we analyze her from the profile. She's extremely striking. Up to her front end, she's balanced made female. I think where she comes ahead of this second place heifer, she's just got a little bit more shape down through her lower third, just a little bit more base to her when you get her traveling. Just a really complete heifer calf here to start off this class. The heifer in second, really like the softness that she has. She'd be a softer made heifer than the heifer that's in first. A bigger hipped heifer, just not quite as strong up to her forerib, and like I said, just doesn't quite have the shape down through her lower third, but still an exceptional heifer here in second place. The 2 heifers that are coming in third and fourth, heifer in third, I think types up very closely to the heifer in second. I think she's a really deep-sided heifer. She's got, again, a lot of softness to her. She's got some shape to her, just not quite as much power into her when you get in behind her over her top. Heifer that's going to round out the class again, just coming in. She's a younger heifer in this class, not quite as much stoutness or shape to her as the heifer at the top of the heifers at the top of the class, but still 4 really nice calves here to start off this portion of the show.
Thank you, Judge Hamilton. So your champion Maine Influence heifer calf is the entry from Rasilvia Cattle Company with entry 817. That's Miss Rasilvia 4L. Your reserve heifer calf champion from Carpathian Land and Livestock of St. Paul with Carp's Lady Linda 321L. That was entry 815. Third in class, entry 814 from Golden Rose Livestock with CMC Chaos 20L. And fourth in class, entry 813, also from Golden Rose Livestock. That will be CMC Karma 22L. Next in our class will be our single entry Maine Influence yearling heifer, but I believe, Rob, in ring number 1, you've got your first class.
Yes, we do, Tracy, and Martin Deerline Show ring number 1 for our judge Rolly Bateman from out Saskatchewan way. Certainly no stranger to showing cattle here at Farmfair International, as well as showing cattle across Canada. Rolly is evaluating our AOB show, and first into the ring is our class of Bronvie yearling heifers. There is a change from your show program, as the final 2 listed in this class have birth dates of April 17th and April 2nd. So entry number 4 has a birth date of April 17th. Entry number 6 has a birth date of April 2nd. So they come into the ring first. And Judge Bateman, your class is complete. We are certainly proud of our many sponsors for Farmfair International, and those would include the Made in Alberta Food Processors Association. Make your local experience extraordinary. Made in Alberta is all about celebrating the homegrown. When you choose Made in Alberta products, you're supporting your friends, neighbors, and the local spirit. The label is a stamp of authenticity, signifying top-notch quality and their strong connection to our land. It's a chance to savor the unique flavors and craftsmanship of Alberta. Discover Made in Alberta and learn more about this program at www.madeinalberta.ca. Your choice today can shape the future of Alberta's farming heritage. Many thanks to the Alberta Food Processors Association and Made in Alberta.
And with that, we'll have comments on our single entry class. Class number 2, our Maine Influence yearling heifer from Judge Colton Hamilton.
Well, yeah, really nice single entry heifer here. Just an April-born bred heifer. I think heifer really appreciate for her femininity. She's really nice up through her front end. She's really angular. She's got some shape to her when you get in behind her there. Just a nice heifer here, really coming into her own there as a younger bred heifer and a strong single entry here in the main show.
Thank you, Colton. So your class winner and our yearling division champion from Wasquay Creek Ranch, the Gundersons, with entry 818. That is 6S Kiwi 1510K. She will be returning for our Grand and Reserve champion Maine Influence female. And our next class into the ring should also be a single entry cow-calf pair, our Maine Influence, class number 4, mature cow. So just if you're planning as a Maine breeder, we are not going to take a break until the end of the Maine Influence bull calves. We'll take a picture break to take our females and our bulls over to the show champion shot box. That's when we will do the official photos for the Maine Influence female and bull.
Mike Tess. Good morning. Pleasure to be back here at Northlands. This is all of the breed show. We're going to start off with this powerful brown Swiss heifer. Got lots of Springer rib. Now these heifers are young March and April, so in calf. The heifer was just in the lead. You'd like to change her on the walk. She just doesn't handle those back legs as well as I like. Last minute switch, she gives up. The heifer in second is giving up that rib, spring rib in that flank to move and stay ahead of the other big heifer. We get down to our heifers down the road, the heifer in third and fourth, equally nice heifers. Heifers you would like to just change that rub structure, put them up on their feet just a bit more, and probably lacking some Springer rib. I like my females to have that deep, deep open ribness at that rear third. You look at these heifers, they get tight back here in the flank, compared to our heifers winning the class. Nice set of heifers, guys. Very nice.
And thank you very much, Judge Bateman. Over in ring number 1, first place honors goes to entry number 1, Swiss Tradition Coconut from Tin Forest Farms, Marishambre of Wetaskiwin, Alberta. And in second place, Swiss Tradition Candy from Shaley Junk of Ardrossan. Over in ring number 1, though, we're ready with comments from Judge Colton Hamilton on his single entry cow-calf class.
One mature cow here, I think a 7-year-old cow we appreciate for the body that she has in the mass. I think for her age, a cow, nice level udder to her, just a February heifer calf. I think it's a really fancy made heifer calf. Just a pair that complements each other well. Really solid 7-year-old pair here in this mature cow class.
Thank you, Colton. So your champion Maine Influence mature cow is the entry from Dunright Stock and Stables, the Roxburghs at Bentley, with entry 819. That is DRSS Miss Annie 155D. So Doug and Katie will likely stay ringside as we invite our Maine Influence heifer calf champion and reserve and our yearling to join our entry 819 to declare the champion and reserve champion Maine Influence female. At this time, I would like to thank the Maine Anjou show sponsors. A big thank you to the Alberta Maine Anjou Association and the Canadian Maine Anjou Association, who invest in so many Maine Anjou events throughout the year. Thank you to the Alberta and Canadian Maine Anjou Association. So to introduce our division champions, we are excited to have our Maine Influence heifer calf champion from Rasilvia Cattle Company, the Pashulkas of Derwent, with entry 817. Miss Rasilvia 4L is your Maine Influence heifer calf champion, and following tightly in behind is the entry from Carpathian Land and Livestock, the Uremcos of St. Paul, with entry 815, and Carp's Lady Linda 321L. From the yearling division, our champion, entry 818, that's 6S Kiwi 1510K from Wasqueet Creek Ranch, the Gundersons of Holden. And your champion, mature cow Maine Influence, entry from Dunright Stock and Stables, Roxburghs of Bentley, Alberta, with entry 819, that's DRSS Miss Annie 155D. Ladies and gentlemen, our Judge Colton Hamilton will take a few minutes to deliberate, and then we'll bring comments on this Maine Influence Championship drive.
And again, folks, in Martin Deerline ring number 1, where our All Other Breeds, or AOB show, is taking place, full placings on our class of Bronve yearling heifers. If you're marking a show program, entry number 1 placed first. That is our top yearling Bronve female, or our junior champion Bronve female. And entry number 3 placed second in as our reserve champion. Both of those bred by Ian and Verena Peterson, but the first owned by Tin Forest Farm of Wetaskiwin, Alberta, and our second from Shaylee Junk of Ardrossan, Alberta. Entry number 2 places 4th, entry number 5 places 6th, entry number 4 in your show program is 5th, and entry number 6 places 5. In our ring now is our yearling Galloway class for Judge Rolly Bateman to evaluate and determine who will be representing the Galloway yearlings in our Grand Champion Female Drive.
And over in Martin Deerline, ring number 2, we're ready for comments on our championship class from Judge Colton Hamilton.
I think nice representation here on the Maine Influence females here. I think group of females, they've got some femininity to them and some angularity. There's some stoutness and some shape here. A nice group. Congratulations to these exhibitors here for the first portion of the show. I'll just go and pick champion and reserve.
Congratulations to our heifer calf. She's our Maine Influence champion, followed quite tightly behind. Our 2 calves will be our champion and reserve. Congratulations to Rasilvia Cattle Company with Miss Rasilvia 4L and Carp's Lady Linda 321L from Carpathian Land and Livestock. They will be your champion and reserve Maine Influence female. Our next class is rolling right in. We will not take a picture break till after our Maine bull calf class. So our next class should have 2 entries in the class number 6, Maine Influence Bull Calves. Again, congratulations to the Yaremkos and the Pashulkas. We'd also like to take a minute to thank the contributions from Maine breeders, Tirana Farms, Wise Maine Anjou, Rasilvia Cattle Company, Brienne Farms, Carpathian Land and Livestock, Blue Sky Maines, Maple Lane Stock Farms, Pick 6 Maines, Deagle Cattle Company, Central Maine Cattle, Shuckburg Cattle, and Mel's Maines. Thank you to those breeders for contributing to the show. It's an excellent opportunity for breed promotion, and we thank you for your investment.
And we're ready with comments in ring number 2 from Judge Rolly Bateman. Folks, Judge Bateman.
We're going to grandstand this really good belty heifer. The program does not serve those heifers till they're 2s. It's common in the old country. You just love the power, the thickness, the natural substance. Comes up with that beautiful wedge front end. You could change her hair color and she'd fit any program. It's a tremendously good belty heifer. Second place is this good black heifer. These heifers are both bred, so it makes it a little more difficult in evaluation. But heifers that are trim and they're tidy and they still have some rib in them, not carrying a lot of added flesh, so they're going to go home and lay down, have a calf, make you some money. The heifer in second over third, just nicer through that pelvis. She has a better walk in her. And then we get down into my problem heifer, this other belty. Just gives up that rump structure. You need to open her up and set that thurl down so she will have a little more cavity, but a really nice set. Galloway heifer.
And thank you very much, Judge Bateman. First place in our junior champion of the Galloway breed is entry number 9, PWF Karma 4K for Ayla Kendall Price of Pearly Watt Farm, Tomahawk, Alberta. This is our first place Galloway yearling heifer, and we'll be advancing to our Grand Champion female drive as our junior champion. And in second place, so will Brian Robertson with his Galloway from Robertson West Livestock, Tri Arcala 16K. If you're marking a show program on class number 2 in our AOB show, the yearling Galloway heifer, entry number 7 places 4th, entry number 8 places 2nd and is our reserve junior champion. Entry number 9 is 1st and our junior champion, and entry number 10 places 3rd. Next up for our judge as well as for our audience is our yearling heifers Blonde Aquitaine division in Martin Deerline, ring number 1.
If you're watching online, here in ring number 2, this is class number 6, our Maine Influence Bull Calf class. To our judge, Colton Hamilton, we have 2 entries in this class, 2 entries in class number 6.
Walked up to a mountain, followed a bird up there, 'cause I found me a woman who treated me unfair. And I awoke to the sunrise, remembered an awful dream of lightning and thunder, and hearing someone scream. Trouble finds you and worry, it sticks around to your day. Once you found a little darling, and she takes all your day.
Among our sponsors at Farmfair International is the Alberta Beef Producers. Cattle producers, please remember your wristbands for tonight's social hour with Alberta Beef Producers at 7 p.m. ringside in Hall B. Many thanks to Alberta Beef Producers. Remember the Alberta Beef Producers social hour tonight right here in Hall B at ringside.
Trouble finds you and worry, it sticks around to your day. Once you found a little darling, and she takes all your way.
And with that, we'll have comments on our class number 6 Maine Influence Bull Calves from Judge Colton Hamilton.
2 really strong calves here in this bull calf class. I think a really exceptional calf we're going to lead off with here. I think this calf, you analyze him from a profile, he's really balanced made. He's masculine, he's nice up through his skull. Get behind, he's got a lot of shape to him. He's real stout down in his height through his stifle. Just a bull, really hard to find a fault in this calf. A really complete calf, a really impressive individual. The calf in second, I think, matches him up very well. He's a calf, a lot of hip to him. He's got some shape over his top. Just a little bit coarser up through his front end. Just doesn't quite lay in as nice through his shoulders, the first place calf. Not quite as much down through his stifle or lower third, but still 2 really strong individuals here. Excellent calf here to lead off this bull calf class.
Thank you, Judge Hamilton. So our champion Maine Influence Bull is entry 821, Mr. Rasilvia 1L from Rasilvia Cattle Company of Derwent. And your reserve champion Maine Influence Bull, entry 820, Carps Louis Vuitton 710L from Carpathian Land and Livestock of St. Paul. We're going to take a brief break, folks, for all of our champions to head on over to the show champion shop box. But Rob and Deer One, you've got some comments ready.
We do, from Judge Rolly Bateman, comments on our yearling Blonde Aquitaine class.
We're going to start this class with powerful kind of a female. Here's a female that shows you muscle, she shows you wedge, she shows you springer rib, and she can get out and beautiful, clean hock in her. And she just overpowers the heifer in second. Now both these heifers are served to the bull, so you see a great difference. What rib structure does to cattle. Just love that first place heifers. Marvelous.
And many thanks, Judge Bateman. Our junior champion blonde Aquitaine female is entry number 11 in your show program, Little Creek Coconut 15K from Little Creek Farms, the Camelchuck family of Collinton, Alberta. We'll be seeing her again in our grand champion female drive, and she'll be joined by our reserve junior champion female from the blonde Aquitaine breed, entry number 12. Once again from the Camelchucks of Collinton, this is Little Creek Kaylani 31K. We move now into our cow-calf classes. We have a couple of 2-year-old classes and then a few mature cow classes. Among our sponsors at Farmfair International are Bow Valley Genetics. Bow Valley Genetics is a reproductive center that offers IVF, conventional flushes, and owner's use semen collection at their 2 locations in Brooks, Alberta, or Regina, Saskatchewan. Many thanks to longtime Farmfair sponsor, Bow Valley Genetics. We also want to acknowledge Edmonton's Best Hotels. Edmonton's Best Hotels welcomes all Farmfair contestants and attendees. Edmonton's Best Hotels, rewards with every booking. And we are here in Martin Deerline Show Ring in Hall B. Martin Deerline is your local John Deere dealer with 10 locations across Alberta. Visit them in-store or online at martindeerline.com. Martin Deerline, the official tractor supplier of Farmfair International. In ring number 1, if you're marking your show program, is our class number 8, our 2-year-old cow from the Galloway breed. And Raleigh's ready to comment on his single entry Galloway class. Folks, Judge Bateman.
It's too bad we didn't have a few more of these to give this heifer some competition. And you gotta like the volume of this Galloway female. Nice tight snug udder. Heifer again that exemplifies what Galloways are all about. Wedgie through the front end, ensures you got milk production. Rib to put some grass through and make some beef. And the product she's got on the ground. Wonderful pair of 2-year-old.
And so first place in our champion Galloway 2-year-old is Big Deal Gypsy White 13J. This is our first place for Russell Horvey of Delburn, Alberta, and Big Deal Galloways. We'll be seeing this cow-calf pair again, the cow with her bull calf at side, in our Grand Champion AOB class. BMO Commercial Bank offers comprehensive services and industry expertise to meet unique needs. Farmfair International thanks BMO Commercial Bank for their sponsorship of Farmfair International. And in Martin Deerline show ring number 1, here is our single entry, class number 9. These are our blonde Aquitaine 2-year-olds, or this is our blonde Aquitaine 2-year-old. We will be seeing her again in our senior champion drive, but first off, she's parading in front of Judge Raleigh Bateman. Raleigh is an outstanding stockman from kind of all across Western Canada. He's been an Alberta boy, now he's a Saskatchewan man. He has raised some of the very best beef cattle you'll find and has been focused a little bit more in recent years on top quality sheep. But when it comes to the meat breeds or the meat species, he certainly knows what he's talking about. And he'll make comments on his single entry blonde Aquitaine 2-year-old class. Folks, here's Judge Raleigh Bateman.
Thank you, sir. Here we have a really nice pair of blonde Aquitaine. Love the heifer calf on this young 2-year-old heifer calf that is better than her mother, and that's what the industry's all about. Calf can be producing you better than she. She's not exactly what you want. Female has got ample size, got some muscle. You like to just change her up in that udder a little bit, but really nice to represent your breed.
And many thanks, Judge Bateman. First place honors is Clover Hill Cattle Company. Delaney Camelchuck of Collinton, Alberta with Little Creek Paforla 40J. Bred by folks David and Janet Camelchuck. This is Delaney Camelchuck's pair, and we'll be seeing her again in our senior championship drive. Next up will be our Bronve mature cow class. And this class will represent a senior championship as well, since first and second in this class will be advancing to our grand champion drive as the senior and reserve senior champion from Bronve. Of course, when we're here at Expo Center, we are in the heartbeat of Explore Edmonton. As Edmonton's destination management and marketing organization, Explore Edmonton drives visitation year-round and elevates the Edmonton experience. The organization is proud to produce its signature events, K-Days, Farmfair International, and the Edmonton Pro Rodeo, as well as stewarding urban agriculture within Edmonton Urban Farm. Learn more about how they help our city shine at exploreedmonton.com. And I'm sure people are all very, very excited to hear about the return of the Canadian Finals Rodeo in 2024. Many thanks, Explore Edmonton. And in Martin Deerline ring number 1, Judge Bateman, your class is complete.
You think you're too far, but I'm where you are, you know. I said I won't leave your side. They left you bare, but I'm begging you still in my eyes for you. Yeah, I give my life. And I'm not here to hear you say you're fine. I can take the pain you hold inside. I wanna know, wanna see it. Can I feel you kryptonite? Can't get this off my mind. Does it only control you? Let me in, I'll help you out. I won't lose you this time.
And we're ready with comments on our mature cow class of the Bronvie breed in our AOB show from Judge Rolly Bateman.
What a tremendous calf that this 8-year-old cow has got in front of her. Calf that explodes off muscle, that twist is full. He's smooth through his shoulder, beautiful set of thurl. Then you look at Mama. Mama's got everything a beef cow's all about. Bronvie cows with beautiful udders, small teats, not so small you can't find them. Clean up through her front end. Tremendous calf on his second pair. He just gives up the muscle and the carcass value of that lead-off bull calf. A young cow that just doesn't have the thickness that I look for in a female, but a nice pair of Bronvie female.
And many thanks, Judge Bateman. First place in this class goes to our 7-year-old cow, Swiss Tradition Deluxe. From Swiss Tradition Bronvie, that's Verena and Ian Peden of Leduc County. Entry number 16 is our first place, and our senior champion female of the Bronvie breed. We'll be seeing her again in the Grand Champion class. And we'll also see entry number 15, Swiss Tradition Yenti, placing second for the Pedens of Swiss Tradition, and also becoming our reserve senior champion female. Next up, our mature cow from the Galloway breed. And there's a class of 3 coming into the ring for that.
Over in ring number 2, we're delighted to kickstart our purebred division of the Maine Anjou show. This is class number 10, our yearling purebred heifer. And of course, this also doubles as a division. We'll declare our champion, or junior and reserve junior champion female here in this class. Our judge, Colton Hamilton, will take a few moments to deliberate on these 2 entries in class number 10.
And in ring number 1, Judge Bateman, your class is complete. Another of our long-term sponsors of Farmfair International is Ram. The Ram 1500 is honored to receive J.D. Power's Best Large Light Duty Pickup for new vehicle quality in the United States. Visit your Alberta Ram dealers to drive away in an award winner today. And you do see the display right here in Hall B. Many thanks to Ram.
Well, thank you, Rob. And we're ready for comments in ring number 2 from Judge Colton Hamilton on his yearling heifer division.
I think a really strong pair of heifers here to start off on the purebred portion of the Maine Anjou show. Really like this heifer that we're going to lead off with. I think really appreciate her just for the depth of rib that she has. She's really soft made. She a little more feminine, a little more angular up through her front end compared to the heifer that's in second. Just a little bit more lower third to her, a little bit nicer in her flank. And I think a heifer that, if we're looking at udder quality, I think she's just going to lay down a little bit nicer of an udder than this heifer that's in second. Just a really complete heifer here to lead off this class. The heifer in second, tremendous amount of rib shape to her. She's big hipped. She's a really bold-made female. There's a lot of performance and a lot of power in her. Like I say, just a little bit coarser up through her front end, and I think udder quality might not quite be as strong as I was in the first place heifer, but a really strong pair of bred heifers here to start off the purebred portion of the show.
Thank you, Judge Hamilton. So your junior champion, Maine Anjou heifer from class number 10 goes to the entry from Carpathian Land and Livestock. They're Uremcos of St. Paul with Miss Ronsko, JOR 60K. That's entry 823. And your reserve junior champion female, also exhibited by Carpathian Land and Livestock, is entry 824. That's Carp's Harley's Whiskey Craze, 248K. Of course, those two will advance to our championship female drive. Congratulations to the Carpathians for their champion and reserve. Our next class will be our mature cow class. This will be class number 15, 3 entries in this class here in ring number 2.
UFA Cooperatives Limited is back once again as a sponsor of Farmfair International. UFA is proud of its rural roots, and being a cooperative is more than just good business. That's why each year UFA invests back into the communities it serves. Thanks UFA for sponsoring Farmfair International, and in particular, this coming Saturday morning's Farmfair Junior Futurity.
Judge Hamilton, in this class 15, we have 3 entries. Your class is complete.
Johnny went out one day with a shotgun by his side. His family they trusted to keep him all alive. He stumbled upon a black bear who knocked down his gun.
Rig Hand Craft Distillery is a grain-to-glass distillery and is in the unique position of being the first craft distillery in the greater Edmonton area. Their family business makes vodka, rum, whiskey, gin, moonshine, and their award-winning coffee cream liqueur that is locally sourced, produced, and distributed. Their main grain supplier is Schneider Farms, a 4th-generation farm located 3 miles from the distillery. Their products are packaged in a distinctive trademark bottle that is a replica of the Leduc No. 1 drilling rig, paying tribute to our rich history of both agriculture and resource development in Alberta. Rig Hand Craft Distillery. It is Alberta in a bottle. In Martin Deerline ring number 1, we do want to thank Reed Rigney, a longtime exhibitor, I would say lifelong exhibitor at Farmfair International, who is our ringman for the AOB show. And of course, our official ribbon presenters, Wyatt, who is definitely the most enthusiastic ribbon presenter I think we'll have all week, being assisted by his little brother Fletcher, who's keeping him straight. Many thanks to Wyatt and Fletcher.
Yeah, your heart is a sun, and it shines as it opens.
And our Galloway Mature Cow class is placed. Judge Rolly Bateman, tell us all about it.
Well, we have pairs that exude in Galloway character. I love the heifer calf and the scalp. She is the youngest cow in the class. She gives the heifer calf her strength. We get to this beautiful 9-year-old cow. You got to appreciate any cow that looks good at 9. Other teats cleanness, still carries some volume. Let's talk about the first place heifer. When you get a cow that can outdo herself genetically, still look this good, she's tough to beat. Heifer calf that looks better than mama. Nicer extension through that neck. Get into my problem calf. She's pretty, she's long-bodied, she's not an eye, as good as her mother. So we have genetics. Get into a genetic bull calf that's explosive in his muscle. A young 4-year-old cow that probably gives up the body width and thickness that I'd like to see. Beautiful young 5-year-old cow. So tremendous set of Galloway females in this mature cow class. Congratulations.
And many thanks to our judge. Congratulations to our first place in our Galloway Mature Cow class, entry number 17, Triple R Great Gatsby's Girl. From Pearly Watt Farm, that's Ayla Kendall Price of Tomahawk. We're going to be seeing her back in the ring for our Mature Galloway Championship, and she'll be joined by, in second place, Our Way Bangles 11B from Brian Robertson of Caroline, Alberta, and Robertson West Livestock. If you're marking your show program on our class number 11, the Galloway Mature Cows, entry number 17 is first place, entry number 18 is third, and entry number 19 places second.
Over in ring number 2, we're ready for comments from Judge Hamilton on Class 15, our mature pairs.
I think nice set of mature cows here. We're going from 6 and 2 8-year-olds, so we've got some age in these cows, and I think considering that, we really have to appreciate them and how they've presented themselves here today. The first place pair, I think, comes to the top of the class quite handily. It's I feel the strongest cow and the strongest calf combined. The calf, he's the stoutest made of the 3 calves in the class. He's big hipped, he's got a lot of muscle to him, he's got some presence, he's nice up through his front end. And the cow, I think she's just the softest made cow of the 3 in the class. I think at her quality is the strongest on this cow of the 3 in the class. I think for a cow her age, I just really appreciate just the youthfulness that she has to her, the body and the shape that she has. A really complete pair. Pair in second, a big high performing bull calf in this second place pair. He just doesn't quite have the muscle to him or the shape down through his lower third as the first place calf does. The cow just not quite as nice out through her hip, not quite as nice in the udder as the first place pair, but still a solid pair. Pair that comes in third, I think this bull calf, really appreciate. He's got a lot of length of body to him. He's again another high performing calf. This 8-year-old cow is doing a really good job. She's just not quite as attractive made of a cow, not quite as feminine as the 2 females that are going to precede her, but I think 3 really solid pairs here on the mature cow class with these aged cows.
Thank you, Judge Hamilton. So your senior champion female today in the main show goes to the entry from Pick 6 Cattle, the Retzlavs of Gull Lake, Saskatchewan, with entry 825 LSCC Sweetheart 121E. Your reserve senior champion female is entry 826 Rapid Creek Miss 543C, the entry from Maple Lane Stock Farm of Wetaskiwin. And third in class from Outlaw Livestock of Drayton Valley, that's 827 Wrench is third in class. Our next class in will be the first of 2 splits in our purebred heifer calves. Judge Hamilton, this will be the first of 2 splits. Your birth date range is mid-February to mid-March.
And in Martin Deerline, ring number 1, we do have our Blonde Aquitaine Mature Cow class in the ring. It is a single entry class. Judge Bateman, your class is complete. And I believe Judge Bateman is ready to comment on his single entry Blonde Aquitaine Mature Cow class. Folks, Judge Bateman.
Here's a nice young 3-year-old cow packing a first calf, an April calf. She's a May heifer. You gotta like this cow with her volume, her beautiful rib structure. You'd like to just change her in that udder, just clean up that udder just a little bit. A bull calf that she is genetically put some of her value into it. muscle pattern. He's got a rib that you like to have in a bull calf, and he's big and strong over the top. Really nice.
And many thanks to our judge. Our first place Blonde Aquitaine mature cow is none other than Little Creek Honey Mumo. This is from the Camel Chucks of Little Creek Farms at Collinton, Alberta. Entry number 20 is our first place Blonde Aquitaine mature cow. We're going to have entry number 14, our first place 2-year-old, come back into the ring. And we will roll with our Blonde Aquitaine class number 15, our senior championship right now. So re-entering the ring is Little Creek Perforla 40J from the Camel Chucks of Collinton Clover Hill Cattle Company on our first place 2-year-old, and of course our first place mature cow, Little Creek Honey Mumo. I think it's Moo. I think there's a cutoff there. Little Creek Farms from the Camel Chucks. This is our senior champion female of the Blonde Aquitaine, class number 15 in your show program, and we'll determine who represents Blonde Aquitaine in our Grand Champion AOB Drive.
This Blonde Aquitaine breed needs to be looked at again as a usefulness in the beef industry in this country. Here you got a young cow packing a sweet heifer calf. Heifer calf, you can change the color, change the breed. She's going to be just darn good. And with that, she will be your Grand Champion, Blonde Aquitaine. Thank you. And reserve.
So in our Blonde Aquitaine Mature Championship, our 2-year-old entry number 14, Little Creek Perforla 40J from Delaney Camelchuck, the junior division of the Camelchuck family. Collinton, Alberta's Clover Hill Cattle Company is our senior champion female. Little Creek Perforla, entry number 20 is our reserve. So that's entries 14 as our senior champion Blonde Aquitaine female, entry number 20 as our reserve. Next will be our Galloway Senior Championship, where our top 2-year-old and our top 2 mature cows will come back in to determine who goes to the Grand Champion Drive. Explore Business is a new sponsor of Farmfair International this year. With a world of information, data, and connections to take advantage of, it's clear why modern farmers rely on high-speed internet. Explore Business keeps you connected. Many thanks, Explore Business. In Martin Deerline Ring number 1, this is our Galloway Champion Female Drive. We have our first place 2-year-old. This is entry number 13, Big Deal Gypsy White 13J from Russell Horvey and team of Delburn, Alberta, Big Deal Galloways. And our first place mature cow is entry number 17, Triple R Great Gatsby's Girl from Ayla Kendall Price of Pearly-Watt Farms at Tomahawk, Alberta. And our second place, Our Way Bangles 11B from Robertson West Livestock. That's Caroline, Alberta's Brian Robertson. Entries 13 and 17 and 19 for our Galloway Mature Championship.
And with that, we'll have comments on our first split of purebred heifer calves from Judge Colton Hamilton.
I think a really strong set of heifer calves here. This will be the most competitive class we've had in here today. I think these top 2 heifer calves, we've got a bit of a contrast here in type. I think, we've got our first place heifer a little bit more moderate frame. She's a little bit younger. The second place heifer, she's a heifer with more power. Definitely you do see a difference there, but I think just in terms of quality, they're the 2 heifers that match up the best, and just in terms of putting everything together. This heifer calf that's in first place, you really just love this heifer calf when you analyze her from the side, just the depth of rib that she has. She's extremely nice through her front end. She's really soft made. She got a lot of shape to her. Just an extremely attractive package, a female that really catches your attention. Heifer that's in second place, I think longer spined heifer, like I said, a little bit bigger framed of a heifer. Heifer really balanced. She's really attractive again from the side. Just not quite as soft made as that heifer that's in first. Just not maybe just like to see a little bit more shape to her compared to that first place heifer when you get in behind, just in terms of rib shape and just through her lower third. But I still think 2 really good heifers, 2 different heifers, but 2 really good heifers here to lead off this class. Heifer that's in third, I guess in terms of size, she's probably more similar to the first place heifer, just in terms of pure frame. But I think a heifer just doesn't quite have the overall mass through her as the top 2 heifers, just not quite as stout made, but still a heifer. I think she's put together well. A nice female here. The heifer that comes in fourth, heifer just a little coarser up through her front end, just like to lay her shoulder into her a little bit nicer. Still a heifer. Appreciate she is feminine up through her neck and through her shoulder, or through her neck and through her head, and has a lot of shape to her hip, just not quite as soft made, not as easy doing as those lead off heifers, and again just a little bit coarser made. Next heifer that we're going to come into here, heifer really appreciate, again, she's a stout made heifer. She's thick top, just like to fix her up a little bit on her back legs when she gets traveling, but still a heifer. I think you just appreciate she is a thick made heifer. Heifer that's going to round out the class, a heifer just not quite as attractive made as the heifers are going to be above her in the class. Just like to fix her up a little bit through her tail head, just to give her a little bit more stoutness and shape to place any higher here today, but still a really strong set of heifer calves here, an impressive class in the Maine Anjou show.
Thank you, Judge Hamilton. So moving off and advancing to our finals in our purebred heifer calf division is entry 828, Carp's Glamorous Lullaby 314L. And also advancing entry 321, Miss Rasilvia 105L. We'll run down with official placings in that class after we hear from comments in ring number 1.
And folks, Judge Bateman on his senior championship of the Galloway breed.
I think we should put our hands together. Congratulate these Galloway breeders for bringing such a nice set of females. When you look and you evaluate each pair as they come through, you have a beautiful 2-year-old doing a nice job on a bull calf. We have a superb belted cow, the sweet heifer calf, and we have the reserve out of that Galloway group. Could win any show. But today, in reserve,
and congratulations goes to Ayla Kendall Price with Triple R, Great Gatsby's Girl. Entry number 17, our first place mature cow, is our senior champion female for the Galloways. Pearly Watt Farm of Tomahawk, Alberta has our senior champion female. The reserve Big Deal Galloways with Big Deal Gypsy White 13J. Russell Horvey of Delburn, Alberta. Big Deal Galloways with our reserve senior champion Galloway female. We move now, folks, into our heifer calves, where we have some good-sized classes coming in for the Bronvie, the Galloway, and the Blonde Aquitaine breeds. And once those are done, we'll be moving into Grand Champion female. Lots of activity in Martin Deerline ring number 1, our all other breed show.
Over in ring number 2, we will summarize our results from class number 17, our first split of purebred heifer calves. Third in class went to Carpathian Land and Livestock with entry 829, Carp's Glamorous Love Story 313L. In fourth place, Grace 30L was entry 822, exhibited by Central Maine Cattle. Fifth in class from Blue Sky Main's entry 830. Miss Ronsko Lindsay, JOR 128L, and 6th in class. Maple Lane Limelight 503L, that was entry 832. Judge Hamilton, our second and final split, has a birth date range of the 20th of January to the 9th of February. And you have 5 entries in this class. This was your final class in the purebred heifer calf division.
Visit allianceseed.com to find the story of one of their great cereal seed varieties and how they fit your operation. Alliance Seed, proud sponsor of Farmfair International 2023. Thank you to Be Clean Northern Alberta, the official sponsor of the Honey Show. Head on over to their display here at Farmfair International and take a look at the Honey Show and offer your thanks and congratulations to Be Clean Northern Alberta, the official sponsor of the Honey Show.
Over in the Martin Deerline Ring, of course, these shows don't happen with the generous volunteerism of folks that make the back end work well. So we want to thank our ringman, Garrett McPherson, as well as our marshals, Brian Zimmer and Todd Zwicker. And of course, there's no bigger champion of the Maine Anjou breed than Miss Josie Pushulka. So we want to thank all of our volunteers who have supported the Maine show here at Farmfair International.
Another of our longtime sponsors is Alta Genetics, proudly servicing the livestock industry for over 55 years, providing semen collection, storage, distribution, and semen sales to their global clients. At Alta, we create value, build trust, and deliver results. Many thanks to Alta Genetics, longtime sponsor of Farmfair International. A refreshing taste that's easy to enjoy, Bud Light is a proud partner of Farmfair International. Many thanks, Bud Light. Country Junction Feeds, proudly serving Western Canadian farmers for the past 60 years. We're very proud of our sponsorship from Country Junction Feeds. And in Martin Deerline Ring number 1, we have our full complement of the 8 Bronvie heifer calves. If you're marking a show program, entry number 21 actually comes in third from the end because the birth date is transposed. That birth date is April 10th, not October 4th. Otherwise, it would be a pretty tiny little calf. But other than that, our class is complete. And Judge Rolly Bateman, you can get to it on your largest class of the day so far, 8 Bronvie heifer calves.
And we're ready for comments from Judge Colton Hamilton on his second and final class of purebred heifer calves here in the Maine show.
I think another solid set of heifer calves here. We've got a heifer calf that comes to the top of this class quite nicely. Heifer calf just, when you analyze her, she's got a lot of length of body to her. She's really feminine up to her front end. She's got an ample amount of hip to her and some shape. She's soft made, just a most complete heifer in the class, like her when she gets out in tracks. Just a really, really solid, really complete female. The heifer that comes in second, I think, in terms of her femininity up to her front end, I think she matches up well with this first place heifer. She's not as stout made, just like to see a little bit more flank in her, like to see a little bit more strength up over through her top in their forerib, but still I think a heifer that types up well. I think a really attractive made heifer, a really nice female to come in second. Heifer that we have in third, I think in terms of volume and depth of rib, she's the heifer that matches up the best with the first place heifer. She's just not quite as nice in the back leg as the second place heifer. She's just not quite as tidy made of a female in through her navel there, not quite as feminine, but still a heifer, fighting the halter a little bit today, not enjoying herself too much. But I think a heifer we do appreciate just for the depth of rib and the body that she has. Heifer that we have next, a heifer, I think, again, just like to see a little bit more lower third, a little bit more depth of rib to her to compete with the heifers that are going to be at the top of the class. Again, maybe I'd just like to fix her up again on our back wheels when you get her traveling, but I think a heifer, again, she's long-bodied, she's got some hip to her, a nice female. The heifer's going to round out the class, just gets overpowered a little bit here in this class, just in terms of stoutness. She just doesn't have that lower third to her, and just doesn't quite have as much middle and mass, but still a really nice set of heifer calves here in this second split of the Maine Anjou show.
Thank you so much, Judge Hamilton. So advancing to our division final is the entry 837, Miss Rasilvia 20L from Rasilvia Cattle Company. And also advancing to our finals, second in class is Carp's Glamorous Last Kiss 317L. That's entry 835 from Carpathian Land and Livestock. Third in class from Blue Sky Maines, that's entry 833, Miss Ronsko JOR 74L. In fourth place, Miss Ronsko Lola, JOR 139L, that's entry 834 from Blue Sky Maines. And fifth in class, that's Maple Lane Stock Farm, with entry 836, Maple Lane Lexus 402L. So we would ask our top two heifers to come back from our first split. We'll reintroduce them to you. Our first place in our first split, the entry from Carpathian Land and Livestock, entry 828. That is Carp's Glamorous Lullaby 314L. And second in that first split is the entry from Rasilvia Cattle Company 831 with Miss Rasilvia 105L. And from our second class, we'll reintroduce you to the class winner, Miss Rasilvia 20L, entry 837 from Rasilvia Cattle Company. And second in class, Carpathian Land and Livestock with entry 835, Carp's Glamorous Last Kiss 317L. Judge Colton Hamilton will take a few minutes to deliberate and declare his champion and reserve champion purebred heifer calf. We would ask that all of our division winners be ready in the marshalling area, because our next class will declare the grand and reserve grand champion Maine Anjou female here at Farmfair International.
In the recognition of Canadian beef cattle genetics internationally and genetic improvement initiatives are at the core of the mandate of Canadian Beef Breeds Council. They collaborate with organizations and government agencies in key markets to promote the attributes of our Canadian beef cattle genetics, production methods, and regulatory systems. Many thanks to Canadian Beef Breeds Council, or CBBC, for supporting Farmfair International and all our seed stock producers contained herein.
We'll now have comments on our heifer calf division from Judge Colton Hamilton.
I think we've got four really solid individuals out here in this championship division class. Like we had mentioned in the first class, you get a little bit different type in terms of just size, but I think in terms of quality, we've got 4 heifers that really fit together really well. There's a lot of good about each one of these. I'll just go out and pick my 2 favorites for the heifer calf champion.
Congratulations to our class winner from the first split. That's going to be the entry from Carpathian Land and Livestock with Carp's Glamorous Lullaby 314L. She will be your purebred heifer calf champion. Followed by, in the same class, Miss Rosilvia 105L. Entry 831 will be your reserve. Congratulations to our Maine breeders on their championship division wins. Our next class up will be Grand and Reserve Grand Champion Female. Now we just have a moment. We see that there's a school class that has joined us. Raise your hand if you have seen cattle before. Raise your hand if this is the first time you've ever seen cows. Raise your hand if today is so far your favorite day this week. Awesome. Thanks for coming, guys.
Need a better way to manage used baler twine? Recycle it for free with Clean Farms. Find out how at albertaagplastics.ca. That's albertaagplastics.ca.
So in order to assist our ringman, Brian Zimmer, and Todd Zwicker, please have your animals in the marshalling area so we can get rolling with our champion class.
And with a last-minute switcheroo, we have our final placings on our Bronve heifer calf class. These are the calves born in 2023. We're going to hear all about it from Judge Rolly Bateman.
Here's a tremendous set of beef heifers. I don't care what breed you want to call them. These are Bronve. But beef men, you need to take a look at powerful calves. They got performance. They still look like girls. They have strength through that front end. When you look at that depth and width of that chest floor compared to other breeds, nobody mistake femininity for weakness. Last minute switch, just on the handling of the legs. That front heifer has a nicer flex to that hock. And tremendous bodies on these. We get into these younger, smaller calves. You well represent your breed. You all deserve to be here. Third place heifer calf, a calf again. Cleaner through her hock, wider through her thorough. Heifers that get down the line, we tend to get wedgy, not enough depth to that front end. But a tremendous set of heifer calves. Well done.
And thanks to our judge in Martin Deerline Ring number 1, our AOB show, our heifer calf champion for the Braunvie breed is Swiss Tradition Queenie, the April 1st heifer from Verena and Ian Peden of Leduc County, Alberta, and Swiss Tradition Braunvie. They also have our reserve heifer calf champion, placing second in class and both advancing to our Grand Champion drive, Swiss Tradition Leah, the March 23rd heifer. If you're marking your show program on that big class of 8 head of Braunvie heifer calves, entry number 21 places 8th, entry 22 is 6th, entry 23 is 4th, entry number 24 places 5th, entry 25 stands 5th in class, entry 26 is 7th. Entry number 27 is our class winner and our Braunvie heifer calf champion. And entry number 28 places second and is our reserve Braunvie heifer calf champion. Next up will be a class of 6 Galloway heifer calves, ranging in age from April 11th at the youngest to January 8th at the oldest. That's in ring number 1, our AOB show.
Over in our Martin Deerline ring number 2, I want to take a moment just to reintroduce you to some very deserving champions from our heifer calf division. Congratulations to entry 828, Carp's Glamorous Lullaby 314L, exhibited by Carpathian Land and Livestock, the Yaremkos of St. Paul. Our reserve purebred heifer calf champion, entry 831, that's Miss Rasilvia 105L from Rasilvia Cattle Company, the Pashulkas at Derwent. From our yearling division, we want to congratulate entry 823 is our champion, Miss Ronsko JOR 60K, exhibited by Carpathian Land and Livestock, and entry 824, Carpathian Harley's Whiskey Craze 248K is your reserve junior champion female. From the mature section, we would like to congratulate 825 as our senior Maine Anjou champion. That's LSC Sweetheart 121E, exhibited by Pick 6 Cattle Company, Jordan Retzlaff of Gull Lake, Saskatchewan. And our reserve senior champion female, entry 826 from Maple Lane Stock Farm, the Browns of Wetaskiwin, with Rapid Creek Miss 543C. Our judge, Colton Hamilton, no stranger to a championship ring, of course representing the very well-known Belvin Angus at Bowden, Alberta. A family affair. He's got his sister, Quinn, here. So congratulations to Colton. If you haven't heard me say, what is the most amazing first thing you'd like to do on your birthday? Well, it's of course judge a show. So happiest of birthdays to Colton Hamilton, as he's our official judge here at the Farmfair International Maine Anjou show. And with that, he's ready with some comments, folks, on our Grand Champion drive for Maine Anjous.
I think we've ended up with a really impressive group of females here representing the Maine Anjou breed, from our heifer calves right down through our 2 mature pairs. I think you can see some similarity in the type of these females. These are females that have a lot of natural body and mass to them. They're stout made, but they still come in an attractive package. They still have some femininity to them. I think a really strong representation of the breed. If you guys give these exhibitors a round of applause for the quality of cattle they brought out, and we'll just go pick a champion in reserve.
Congratulations, Emily. Your grand champion Maine Anjou female is your junior champion, Miss Ronsko JOR 60K, exhibited by Carpathian Land and Livestock. That's one proud young lady. And it's a sweep. Your reserve champion, also exhibited by Carpathian Land and Livestock, that is Carp's Glamorous Lullaby 314L, will be your reserve champion, Maine Anjou Congratulations to Kurt in the ring as well, and to all of the Maine breeders. We will not be taking a break right now for pictures with show champions. We are going to do our bull divisions before we break. So please, to the Yaremko kids, take your females over to the show champion shop box, but not until we are done the bull show. We also want to take a moment to thank our Maine Anjou sponsors, Torona Farms, Wise Maine Anjou, Rasilvia Cattle Company, Brienne Farms, Carpathian Land and Livestock, Blue Sky Maines, Maple Lane Stock Farms, Pick Six Maines, Deagle Cattle Company, Central Maine Cattle, Shuckburg Cattle, and Mel's Maines. But of course, a very special thank you to the Alberta Maine Anjou Association and the Canadian Maine Anjou Association for their continued investment in their Maine Anjou breeders. Our next class into the ring will be our class number 22, our purebred bull calves. Please have your bull calves ready ringside. We're moving right into class number 22.
And in ring number 1, this is the complete class of our Galloway heifer calves for Judge Raleigh Bateman.
Just a reminder to Maine breeders, please have your entries ringside. We're ready for class number 22. Please don't be late. And also just a reminder, we will do all of our show champions pictures, our champion female and bulls, at the completion of the show. So after our group classes, we will head over to the show champion shop box once our main show is complete. Thank you.
In the morning, in this great blue state, golden fingers caress my face, slips through the window on a silky breeze, a dreamer's life, the plants on the sea. Set this bird free.
And we're ready with comments from Judge Bateman and Martin Deerline ring number 1 on our Galloway heifer calves.
Well, I think we should put our hands together and congratulate the breeders. One of the nicest set of heifer calves that you can put in a ring. It made a last-minute switch. The second place heifer calf gives me lots of problems. We're going to talk about this first place heifer. I'm not a belted Galloway breeder, so I don't know if the incomplete belt means something or anything. But when you get a calf that has the rib development, the strength through that front end, and exudes in Galloway characteristic through that head, it's going to be your winner. This beautiful black calf. Tremendous length of spine and organ. You just like to set that thurl down, put her legs underneath her. Heifer in third, matches the one in first, just not quite enough length a quarter. Then we get into this threesome here. You could flip them around. You get calves that exude in Galloway characteristic. And if you are being a purebred breeder, regardless of breed, you have to have some true type characteristic. And I applaud all of you Galloway. Tremendous set of calves.
In our Galloway heifer calf class, our Galloway heifer calf champion is PWF Lady May. This is the January 8th heifer calf from Ayla Kendall Price of Parleywatt Farm. Ayla Kendall Price, Tomahawk, Alberta, has our heifer calf champion. Our reserve heifer calf champion is Big Deal Lone Star 25L from Russell Horvey and his team at Big Deal Galloways, our veteran showman on our reserve heifer calf champion from Delburn, Alberta. If you're marking a show program on our Galloway heifer calves, entry number 30 places second, entry number 31 is fifth, 32 is fourth, entry 33 places sixth, 34 is third, and entry number 29 is our class winner and our heifer calf champion. We are ready for comments on this class of Maine Anjou bull calves in Martin Deerline ring number 2 from Judge Colton Hamilton of Innisfail, Alberta.
Well, a good set of bull calves here. We got a really exceptional calf that's going to lead off this class. He's going to come to the top here quite handily. I think a calf, really love him up through his skull. He's got a really nice head. He like how his shoulder lays in, but still like the level of masculinity that he has for his age. He's the softest made, deepest ribbed calf in the class, but still he's got a lot of top to him. He's got a lot of hip. He's the strongest calf down through his stifle. I think just a calf that really comes together well and comes to the top of this class. I think the calf that we got in second follows up the closest with this first place calf in terms of just his balance and his look. He's a calf not quite as stout made, not quite as much middle and rib to him, but I think still a calf. You like him up through his front end. You like the shape that he has. Similar type of calf that's in third here to the second place calf. They're calves that really like the muscle they've got, the amount of the shape they've got over their hip. This third place calf, just like to see a little bit more middle to him, a little bit more lower third, clean him up a little bit in terms of sheath compared to the first and second place calves, but still a calf like for just the power in terms of muscle that he has. Calf we're going to come into next, I think a calf, he's got some depth to him, he's got some lower third to him, just like to stouten him up, give him some more ribs, some more hip, some more shape to get above these calves above him. The red calf that comes in next, a calf, real long spine calf. Again, he's not quite as nice through his hip as the calves that we have higher in the class. He doesn't have have that same stoutness to him in terms of lower third, lower quarter. Calf that rounds out the class again, just like to see him softened up, just like to put some more middle in him, clean him up in terms of sheath, give him some more muscle to compete with these calves above him, but still a really solid group of bull calves here. Excellent calf to lead off this class.
Thank you, Judge Hamilton. So your bull calf champion for the Maine show is the entry from Rasilvia Cattle Company, the Pashulkas of Derwent, with Mr. Rasilvia 10L. That's entry 843. And your reserve bull calf champion, entry 842, also from Rasilvia Cattle Company, with Mr. Rasilvia 22L. Third in class went to 838, entry from Blue Sky Maines with Blue Sky Black Lightning. Fourth in class from Maple Lane Stock Farm, Maple Lane Lincoln, 543L. That was entry 840. Fifth in class, entry 841 from Outlaw Livestock from Drayton Valley. That's the entry automatic reload. And sixth in class, Blue Sky Levi, JOR 68L. That's entry 839 from Blue Sky Maines. Our next entry into this ring number 2 Maine show is class number 26, Yearling Bull. We've got a entry scratch. Please scratch entry 845. Please scratch entry 845. We have a single entry in our Yearling Bull division. Now keep in mind, folks, this is the last of the bull classes. We've got a declaration of our Grand and Reserve Grand Champion Bull, followed by some group classes. So if you have entries in the group class, please make sure they're ringside.
In ring number 1, Martin Deerline ring number 1. This is our final AOB heifer calf class. There is one scratch from your show program. Please scratch entry number 37. Please scratch entry number 37. And please note there are 3 blonde Aquitaine in this ring, as well as 1 Wagyu. So Judge Rolly Bateman, your class is complete. Driving Force is your partner for vehicle rentals, sales leasing, and fleet management. Visit drivingforce.com or stop by a branch today. Thank you, Driving Force.
And with that, we'll have comments from Judge Hamilton on his single entry Yearling Bull class.
We got a solid yearling bull. Solid yearling bull here. I think, again, you get behind this bull, he's got some power over his hip. He's got some muscle shape, carries that down into his stifle. He's got some length. Maybe like to see him a tick softer made, but still a bull would just appreciate for the amount of pure red meat and muscle that he's got in here. Solid single entry here in the Maine Anjou show.
Thank you, Colton. So your junior champion Maine Anjou Bull is the entry from Maple Lane Stock Farm, the Browns of Wetaskiwin, with entry 844. That's Rapid Creek Conan, 51K. Our next class into the ring is going to be our champion bull and reserve champion bull. So we'll invite our 2 bull calves to come into the ring. To reintroduce those 2 champions from our bull calf division, the entry from Rasilvia Cattle Company, entry number 843, Mr. Rasilvia 10L was your bull calf champion, and your reserve bull calf champion, entry 842. That was Mr. Rasilvia 22L from the Pashulkas at Derwent. Rasilvia Cattle Company, of course, taking home both the champion and reserve champion Maine Anjou bull calves, followed in by our division champion yearling bull from Maple Lane Stock Farm of Wetaskiwin with entry 844. That's Rapid Creek Conan, 51K.
Here's one of the most interesting classes I've experienced. I've judged around the world in different breeds. You have a very young blonde heifer going to take this class and rip with it. Then we get into second and third, the problem kids of the block. You have a blonde heifer, you just like to appreciate her length of spine and the way she can get out and dangle. You just like to change that leg a little bit. Then we get into the beautiful black Wagyu heifer. Wagyu, of course, a breed that is a niche market. They are the marbling wonders of the world. And so when you look at her, you say, oh, well, she's a dairy calf. No, she probably is one of the better Wagyus that you can find in North America. And they leave the horns on.
We'll give you complete rundown of blonde Aquitaine heifer calves in a moment, but Judge Colton Hamilton in ring number 2 has his grand champion Maine Anjou bull class in the ring. Folks, all eyes on Judge Colton Hamilton and his grand champion bull class.
Well, as we get to the conclusion of the Maine Anjou show here, I think, first of all, I'd just like to thank the breeders for asking me to come out and judge these cattle here today. It's been a show that's been really deep on quality. It hasn't been huge on numbers, but I think through every division we've found some cattle that we really appreciate, really like, and I think the exhibitors did a great job of bringing them to us here today. In this champion bull class, got a couple of bull calves and a yearling bull. I think you look at them, they display a lot of what makes the Maine Anjou breed popular. They've got some muscle and some stoutness to them. I think they're bulls that have a lot of red meat. 3 good representatives of the breed, just like we saw in the female championship class. I think we saw some really strong individuals, some really strong representatives of the breed. So if we could give all these Maine Anjou breeders throughout the day a round of applause, and let's go and select my 2 favorite Maine Anjou bulls here to conclude the show.
Congratulations to our 2023 champion Maine Anjou bull. It goes to Mr. Rosilvia 10L. Congratulations to the Pashulka family, of course, taking both banners home with those 2 parables. Riley and Taylor on the halter, our 2 champions, 843, followed by 842, Mr. Rosilvia 22L. Congratulations to the boys from Derwent, our champion and reserve grand champion Maine Anjou bulls.
And in Martin Deerline ring number 1, our blonde Aquitaine heifer calf champion was Clover Hill Lily 40L from Delaney Camelchuck of Clover Hill Cattle Company. That's our junior Camelchuck division. That is our heifer calf champion. Our reserve heifer calf, also from the Rigney junior division, Dungannon Stock Farms, division of Willow Springs Stock Farms, with WSS Luminescent 9L. And if you're marking your show program on our blonde Aquitaine heifer calves, class number 18, entry number 35 is first. That's our heifer calf champion for Delaney Camelchuck. Entry number 36 places 4th. Entry 37 is a scratch. Entry 38 is 2nd place, and our reserve heifer calf champion for Reed Rigney's Dungannon Stock Farms. And 3rd goes to entry number 39. Now we'll move into our champion drives.
And Rob, over in ring number 2, we have 4 classes remaining. We would ask our amazing Maine Anjou breeders to please have your pair classes ready. Next up will be class number 31, Parables. We have 3 entries in this class. If we could please have those Parables ready, we'll get going with our 4 classes of groups. Class number 31 is up next.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be doing our breed champions first. So here come our Bronvie contenders. Our heifer calf champion is entry number 35, Bronvie. Entry number 27, Swiss Tradition Bronvie from Verena and Ian Peden with Swiss Tradition Queenie. This is the April 1st heifer calf, who is our heifer calf champion. And our reserve heifer calf champion, entry number 28, the March 23rd heifer calf, Swiss Tradition Leah. Then we have our champion Bronvi yearling heifer, which is entry number 1, Swiss Tradition Coconut. For Tin Forest Farms, that's Mira Shamber of Wetaskiwin, Alberta. And our reserve yearling champion, Swiss Tradition Candy, from SMJ Bronvi Shaley Junk of Ardrossan, Alberta. And then going into our senior championship, where our champion mature cow was our champion cow-calf pair, Swiss Tradition Deluxe. For the Pedons of Swiss Tradition Bronvi, entry number 16, our senior champion. The reserve Swiss Tradition with Swiss Tradition Yenti, the 4-year-old cow-calf pair that follows up our 7-year-old cow-calf pair. This is our grand and reserve grand champion female of the Bronvi show. And one thing about it, folks, it is going to be a Swiss Tradition sweep. And we're ready now with comments from Judge Rolly Bateman.
Here we go. We're live. Let's put our hands together and congratulate these Bronvi breeders, bringing us a nice set of cattle to town, functional in every way you look at it. Cattle that have enough spring of rib, they got some muscle, they got the length of spine, and they all look like girls. When I look at a cow, and udders are important, and feet and legs are important, and product is important. Breed characteristic comes to the foreground. So when I look at this champion, the winning aged cow, with a product like this, your grand champion. And she's going to be followed by the younger cow that was second to her in class. Again, bull calves that are got strength, power, and muscle. What else do you need in a beef breed? Well done, Bronvi breeders. So your reserve goes to the second place cow.
And so in Martin Deerline ring number 1, this is our grand champion Bronvi class, and our champion and reserve champion matures will be our grand and reserve grand. So congratulations to Swiss Tradition Bronvi, Verena and Ian Pedon of Leduc County. Swiss Tradition Deluxe, the 7-year-old cow-calf pair, is our grand champion female for the Bronvi breed, and our reserve is Swiss Tradition Yenti. Our reserve senior champion goes reserve. So entries 16 and 15, Grand and Reserve Grand Champion. We'll be seeing them again in our AOB Grand Championship. But next up, folks, is another breed.
Over in ring number 2, we'd like to make the announcement on our results for Parables. Congratulations to the entry from Rasilvia Cattle Company. The boys on halter from Derwent with their Parables. They're going to win this class. Second, quite closely behind, Maple Lane Stock Farm of Wetaskiwin. And third, Blue Sky Mains of Daysland. Congratulations, guys. Please add to or delete once you have your banners presented for class number 32, our Breeders' Herd. Just a reminder to all of our Maine Anjou breeders and exhibitors, the official photos for our champion and reserve female and bull need to head over to the shot box once we are done our final group class. That will be Progeny of Dam. So please do not forget to head over to Show Champions for our official photos of our grand and reserve champions. Just a quick little note, if there's any young breeders in the barns that are looking for some mentorship, Colton Hamilton is certainly one that can give it to you. Colton has traveled all over the world and has judged most of our major shows. Hails from Belvin Angus at Bowden, and of course a family affair. He's got his sister Quinn here, but the family is absolutely no stranger to the cattle industry. Gavin, Mabel, Colton, Quinn, Brendan, and little Ivy are all members of Belvin Angus. If you ever want to have a conversation about the Angus fraternity or the cattle industry as a whole, make sure you take a moment and talk to any of the Hamiltons. They'd be more than happy to help you. And of course, Colton loves youth development and would love to talk to you about opportunities abroad. Thank you again to Colton Hamilton, our official judge for the Maine Anjou show here at Farmfair International.
And ladies and gentlemen, in Martin Deerline ring number 1, coming into the ring now are our contenders for our Grand Champion Galloway female class. And leading the way is our Galloway Champion Heifer Calf, PWF Lady May 1L. This is the January 8th heifer calf from Pearly-Watt Farm. That's Ayla Kendall Price of Tomahawk, Alberta. And the reserve heifer calf champion, April 11th born Big Deal Lone Star 25L from Russell Horvey of Delburn, Alberta, and Big Deal Galloways. Next up, our champion and reserve champion yearling heifer for the Galloway, and that would include once again Peta Kendall Price of Pearly-Watt Farm of Tomahawk with PWF Karma 4K. That is our champion yearling heifer. The reserve champion, Try Our Way Livestock and Robertson West Livestock, Brian Robertson of Caroline, Alberta, with Try Our Kayla 16K. And then our mature cow became our senior champion for Ayla Kendall Price of Pearly-Watt Farm, Tomahawk, Alberta. So it's definitely going to be a Kendall Price who represents the Galloway in our Grand Champion AOB Drive. Our senior champion is Triple R Gatsby's Girl. The reserve, our 2-year-old Big Deal Gypsy White 13J from Russell Horvey of Big Deal Galloways. This is our Grand Champion Galloway female class in Martin Deerline, ring number 1. Another of our Farmfair International sponsors is the Canadian Roundtable for Sustainable Beef, a collaborative multi-stakeholder initiative focused on advancing environmental, social, and economic sustainability in the Canadian beef industry. CRSB, major player in Canada's beef cattle sector.
So congratulations to our champion breeders herd here at the Maine Anjou show. Colton has made his declaration. Rasilvia Cattle Company. So Josie has all her boys out on the halter there. Congratulations to Riley, Taylor, Nick, and Lee. I don't know if there's another one. Is there another one here of the Pashulka boys? No, I don't think so. This is it. Congratulations to the Pashulkas, our champion breeders herd. And of course, reserve champion breeders herd goes to Blue Sky Maines. Dwayne and crew, congratulations. Dwayne Ronsko of Daysland will take second. Congratulations, folks. Next up, we'll have Get a Sire. Please add to or delete.
And in Martin Deerline ring number 1, we're ready with comments from our judge on his Grand Champion Galloway class.
Now, Galloway people, you best put your hands together. Nicest set of Galloways we've seen in the barn for a long time. You have a breed that has all sorts of function, and cattle that have middle, that can take that grass, turn it into beef, turn it into succulent beef, then feed the population. When I look at females, then they have to be better, a product better than they are. So this Grand Champion cow, and reserve, got to go to this one.
And once again, sticking with our senior and reserve senior champion for Grand and Reserve, our Galloway senior champion, Triple R, Great Gatsby's Girl for Ayla Kendall Price of Pearly-Watt Farms of Tomahawk, Alberta is our Grand Champion Galloway female and will come in to contend in the pole position for Galloway in our Grand Champion of the AOB. She'll be joined in that class by our Reserve Champion, our Reserve Senior Champion, the 2-year-old Big Deal Gypsy White, 13J, from Big Deal Galloway's The Horvays of Delburn, Alberta. Next up, folks, will be the last of our breed champions representing the Blonde Aquitaine.
So if you are a Maine breeder watching online or here at Farmfair International, this is the Get a Sire class for the Maine Anjous. If any of these groups are exciting to you, which they should be, they represent all the same sire. Sadly, our data management system does not capture that sire, but I would encourage each of you to visit with these breeders back at the stall and talk about what makes these sires certainly among some of the best in the breed. Again, this is class number 33, Get of Sire. And congratulations to our main exhibitors. Results for our Class 33 Get of Sire. Congratulations to Rasilvia Cattle Company. Will take first place in this Get of Sire. Second in class, Blue Sky Maine's Dwayne Ronsko and crew. And third in our Get of Sire, congratulations to Craig Brown of Wetaskiwin Maple Lane Stock Farm. Takes third. Congratulations, folks. We'll have one more group class before we turn our ring over to the next breed show. Class number 34, Progeny of Dam. We have 2 entries in this class. Please have your entries waiting in the marshalling area. Class number 34 will be the end of our Maine Anjou show. So again, folks, like the Get of Sire, the Progeny of Dam, this is class number 34. This is a reflection of both entries being out of the same dam. If you are interested to know more about these breeding programs, please make sure that you take a moment and talk to the breeders back at the barns and just see what the genetic potential is for all of these. a really, really cool opportunity to acquire some great genetics. So before we release these guys, we do want to give out a few more awards other than just the championship of the Progeny of Dam, but we'll do that first. Our champion Progeny of Dam for 2023 goes to the entry from Rasilvia Cattle Company. Congratulations to Riley and Nick on halter. They will be our first place Progeny of Dam. And congratulations to the Uremco kids. They will take our second place prize for Progeny of Dam. But one of the prizes that are probably one of the most sought after in any purebred show is the declaration of the Premier Breeder and Premier Exhibitor. Well, folks, boys, don't go far. Boys, don't go far. This is a reflection of how important it is to listen to the announcer. Anyway, we do want to congratulate Rasilvia Cattle Company as the Premier Breeder and Premier Exhibitor of the Maine Influence division of the Maine show. So congratulations to Rasilvia Cattle Company of Derwent, our Maine Influence Premier Breeder and Premier Exhibitor. While that presentation is made, we also want to congratulate our Premier Breeder and Exhibitor for the Maine Anjou show to Emily and Kurt, representing Carpathian Land and Livestock.
And here come our contenders for our Grand and Reserve Grand Champion female drive of our Blonde Aquitaine show. And leading the way is Clover Hill Lily 40L. This is entry number 35, and our heifer calf champion for Clover Hill Cattle Company, Delaney Camelchuck, the Blonde Aquitaine Junior Division of the Camelchuck family. For Colinton, Alberta's Delaney, and our reserve heifer calf champion for Dungannon Stock Farm, part of the Rigney family of Willow Springs Stock Farms, WSS Luminescent 9L, entry number 38, our reserve heifer calf champion. Next up then is our junior champion or our yearling champion for the Blonde Aquitaine breed, both of which are coming from Little Creek Farms, again the Camelchuck family at Colinton. Our junior champion is Little Creek Coconut 15K, that's entry number 11. The April 15th yearling is our junior champion. The reserve junior champion, entry number 12, Little Creek Kaylani 31K. And then moving into our senior championship, where entry number 14, our 2-year-old for Clover Hill Cattle Company, that's Delaney Camelchuck, one of the juniors again from Colinton with Little Creek Perforla 40J, and our